Hello, and welcome, unknown friends. I'm Ignotus Amicus, and this is my channel. This channel is mainly going to serve as a video journal, not necessarily a vlog. I'm not going to take the camera with me everywhere I go and show you the intimate details of my life. After all, this is the internet, and people aren't always the kindest, especially when you share your private life with them electronically. Anyway, yes, so this is just a place that I plan on being very candid. I don't intend to do very much editing. I may put an intro somewhere at the beginning and maybe some kind of title card at the end. Don't know yet. But yes, I want to try to make this as candid as I can. That way I can get my ideas down without having to worry about the overall presentation. I know I'm not the only one who makes videos like this. I know I'm not the only talking head. But for me, putting my ideas down in a video journal saves me time. Working in healthcare, I don't have a lot of time on my hands, so every second is precious to me. And as much as I would love to sit down, crack open a beautiful Leuchtturm notebook and write down my ideas in it, I just do not have the time. So, hence the candid nature, and that most of this content is going to be predominantly unedited. So, the name of the channel, where did I get it? I got it from a book that I spent about 2 years going through, reading it. Initially, I didn't think that it would take me 2 years to read it. Normally, I can go through a book at a fairly average speed. I'm not a speed reader, but if the subject is incredibly interesting, I can certainly push through and try to finish a book in a day or two. This book, however, was not one of those kinds of books, despite the fact that within the first 5 pages, it had me completely mesmerized, and words can't even really quite describe it. It was an enlightening experience. I come from a Catholic background, but I also have an interest in the esoteric, the occult, magic, alchemy, a lot of the rejected knowledge that is present in Western philosophical traditions. And this book was written by a Catholic, or someone who converted to Catholicism. And the book in question he had published posthumously after his death. It was originally published in 2 volumes in German and was later translated into English. There is actually a picture of Pope John Paul II with a copy of the 2-volume edition on his desk. I believe there's also a picture of then Cardinal Ratzinger, now Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI, with a copy on his desk as well. But what interested me in this book was the fact that the title is anything but. The title is anything other than what you would think a Catholic book of spirituality would be called. That book is Meditations on the Tarot, a journey into Christian Hermeticism. It was published anonymously. However, we know today that the author is one Valentin Tomberg. He was a former anthroposophist and student of Rudolf Steiner. I personally don't know very much about Valentin to any great detail. I just know that he was an occultist and an esotericist at one time, and that he, through his esoteric philosophizing, eventually found his way into the Catholic Church. So this is a long roundabout way of saying that the book, spending 2 years going through it, really has changed my perspective, and has really, in my view, has opened me to avenues of inquiry I didn't think were available within the Christian context. And I feel as if I've been visited by many wonderful graces that have both encouraged and protected me through the course of study that I find myself on now. I still consider myself a faithful Catholic, as did many philosophers and thinkers, especially in the Renaissance period, leading up to and for a short time after the Council of Trent in the 16th century. So I feel like I am in good company, and if I'm to believe any of the thoughts and ideas surrounding Saint Cyprian of Antioch, then I should really be in good company. I don't yet have any statuary of Saint Cyprian. Perhaps I will have him join the Madonna here at a later date. But for now, anyway, enough of the rambling. Why is the channel called what it is? Because in this book, Tomberg addresses each chapter to an unknown friend. And the way he writes each chapter is very endearing. He doesn't know who his reader is. It was published after he died. So that warm, friendly sense that comes through the text when you're reading it, it was very touching. And I felt like if I was going to put my ideas down, which I tend to hope are somewhat in line with his thinking, not that I'm open to challenging him on a few things. Well, not that I'm not open to challenging him on a few things, which I am. Nobody's perfect. I'll probably touch on a few of those things in a future video. But just this love, that touching, loving agape that he has for these unknown friends that he's writing to really inspired me to take up, to take the torch, to take up the mantle and persevere this concept, and maybe make a tradition out of it. So yeah, Ignotus Amicus, to the best of my ability, is a Latin translation of the English unknown friend. So the idea is that I can be an unknown friend to whichever kind soul finds it in their heart to 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 click on my thumbnail and listen to me ramble on for a few minutes every day or so, or every other day. I don't know how often I'll upload videos, but and I also hope that me being an unknown friend to you, the viewer, I hope that we can be unknown friends to each other. And I hope to find that in the comments. I know it's the internet. Not every comment is going to be kind. I'll probably get heckled by untold legions of evangelicals and Southern Baptists and Seventh-day Adventists and insert loud, obnoxious Protestant denomination here. But I do anticipate and am ready to cherish any and all heartfelt comments, or ideas, or questions, or friendly objections to some of the ideas. I'm certainly open to a challenge to my conceptions and paradigms. I can't say that I will get back to you immediately on them, because, these things take time. Philosophy is not something that happens overnight. It's something that takes a very, very concerted effort and enough time, and seeing as I barely have enough time between working in healthcare, keeping up with my reading habit, and having to run errands, I need every spare moment I can get to set aside and to contemplate ideas. So this channel, this video, is a amalgamation, an agglutination of about 4 years of reading, study, contemplation, doubt, and faith. It really is the ideas that I'm going to share in these videos are a representation of a lot of toil, and I think it's important to get them put down. Not because I think someone in the future is going to watch my videos and think that, well, let me put it this way. It's not that I'm doing this because I'm expecting any clout or internet fame. I'm uploading these videos because I'd like to see videos on subjects and videos expressing ideas that I wish I had come across. When I first started this journey that began with this book, and that's in the hope that someone who finds themselves in my shoes sometime in the future, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe years from now, that they're able to find these videos and to help them get a foothold on the questions that they may have about their own ideas, or whether they want, or whether they're looking for a challenge to their held beliefs. So, and again, or not again, but also, I'm uploading these because I want to be able to have something that I can look back on to see how I've progressed on this journey. I don't expect that I'll ever get to the end. For all I know, for me, the end will be when I take my final breath and get to finally see what's behind the curtain. And that's okay. Yeah, I can't think of much else that I could really say. I will say this: if you have not read this book, I would highly, highly recommend, whether you're Catholic, Christian, or not. It's an incredible book. And don't let the title scare you off. If you're Christian, don't let the title scare you off. It is not a book about divination. I would say it has a lot in common with the project of both Marsilio Ficino and Giovanni Pico della Mirandola, in that they sought to confirm the truth of Christ via the philosophies, practices, and ideas in other traditions. Now, we can get into whether their project was of pure intention or not in another video. But the fundamental trajectory of their project, is it syncretism? I don't know. It could be. But then again, syncretism tends towards the idea that everything is true. Whereas what Ficino and Pico were mainly concerned with was not a syncretism where everything is true, but a syncretism where Christ is true, ultimately. And that no matter what ideas or practices exist in the world, that they can ultimately be baptized into the light of Christ, and that they can be shown to point to the truth that Christ is. I think that is a fascinating project, and perhaps these videos may help towards that project. They may hinder it. I don't know. Again, these videos are predominantly for myself, to keep a record of my ideas and to see how I grow. Whether or not any of you enjoy it is a nice perk, if it happens at all. So, this, subjects. You've gotten a bit of a taste of some of the subjects that this channel is going to center around. And, philosophy, the occult, the esoteric, magic, astrology, alchemy. Maybe touch on some science, and how it relates to more spiritual concerns, maybe. I've even considered sharing happenings and goings-ons in the realm of healthcare. I specifically work as a nurse, so I have the perspective of a nurse when it comes to the issues of healthcare, and of course, being a spiritually minded individual, I tend to look at things in healthcare through a decidedly moral and spiritual paradigm. Mainly because the Nightingale Oath that I took upon completing nursing school is sworn under God. And if the Christian tradition has taught us anything, is that oaths should be taken very seriously. So maybe I'll touch on healthcare as it relates to these other subjects. Certainly will when it comes to alchemy and other sort of folk magical practices. But yeah, if you find these subjects of interest, and if you find my rantings and ramblings and diatribes to be of any use to you, or if you find them to be entertaining and just enjoy laughing at this bald guy in a hoodie going on and on about crazy shit, then feel free to like, subscribe, and yeah, share your thoughts in the comments if you would like to, or if you've made it this far in the video. Thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you all next time. Don't know what I'm going to talk about. Just doing all this by the seat of my pants, which currently are khakis. Not that anybody cares. All right. Peace be with you.